What's up, guys, and welcome to the first PFCFL draft recap for this season 2 of our league. So, today I'm with the regular season champion from the season 1, and his name is Jeff Bridges.
What's going on, guys?
So, Jeff is from the United States, as you all know. In the first season, he had a 7-3-0 record with the Memphis Primates. He was number 1 in the Kalos Conference and number 1 in the league. He also had 53 kills and 35 deaths, so that's tied for first in the PFCFL Season 1 edition. And this year he's changing his team, so he's gonna be the Hazleton Hoopas head coach and owner, and he's gonna play in the Hoenn East division. So, Jeff, tell me a little bit about your first season. I think you had a great season all around. So, what were your what's your opinion about how you played and stuff like that? Like, what were the good and the hits and the misses, pretty much?
I would say I feel like I played really well overall last season. I spent a lot of time trying to prepare and make sure that I had, the right amount of coverage, take out, basically bring a team to steal the words of the mighty Joey Poke game, bring a team of 6 that can handle any combination that my opponents could bring against me. And that's kind of was the goal each and every week, to make sure I had something that could cover for anything. Make sure I had checks and ways to take out everything that my opponent could potentially bring against me. Some weeks it worked, some weeks it didn't. For the most part, it turned out pretty well overall, I would say. Coming out on top for the regular season of season 1. I'm very proud about that. Definitely a couple of my misses would be just not really. I think there were some matches that I didn't prep for enough
Like
that I probably should have.
like your battle against me, you planned too much though. There are some
Yeah,
battles where you
exactly.
planned too much and started overthinking.
Exactly. I planned too much for my battle against you, and it ended up crippling 2 of my team members and making them a lot less useful than they would have been if I went with my original planning. And I didn't plan enough, I think, for Andy. I don't think it was so much planning for Andy. I think it was so much the execution when it came to battling Andy as well. Just because I like my prep, was there. I had the ideas and they were good. They were useful. They were effective. I just didn't get enough time to take enough time to practice actually executing my strategies in battle. I didn't really get a chance to simulate that one at all. So that kind of bit me in the butt. But I'm definitely not going to allow that to happen this season. I'm going to definitely take a lot more time to, really analyze my opponent's team, practice against a couple different combinations that I think they might want to bring against me. Make sure that I have something that can handle everything this time. And I do mean everything.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to slip past me.
All right. So, speaking about this season, you have a completely different team. You weren't allowed to draft something that you ended last season with. So, I'll let you pretty much go through quickly through all your picks, because I know you like to talk. So, just go on the surface. Don't go too much in depth, but tell me what's the big thinking behind each Pokemon. So let's start with your Mega, which was your first pick, the 15th overall. It was Lopunny, Mega Lopunny.
Yeah, Mega Lopunny is a mon I've really wanted to mess around with a lot more since it was released in Oris. I've seen a lot of people use it very effectively. It's really, really good Pokemon overall. It has a lot of coverage moves available to it, so that it can really be a good asset to my team. And I don't know, it's easily one of my favorite Megas by far, for sure.
All right. So after Lopunny, since we were doing O U U U R U N U, so for 12 rounds. After Mega Lopunny, you picked Entei, and I think there's a specific reason you took this Pokemon. It was pretty much of a replacement for something else, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. I really was looking to scoop up Arcanine because I know Arcanine's very bulky. It has the intimidate ability. It can still hit very very hard. Throw a choice band on it. It's really really amazing Pokemon overall, and it would have fit really nicely into one of the cores I was trying to build in my head. And it just didn't pan out that way. Arcanine was picked like third overall in UU, and I
Mhm.
had to really think on the fly and replace it. And the closest thing to Arcanine that I could find was NK. It has decent bulk to it. It still hits very, very, very hard. So it's definitely a very solid replacement
Mm.
to fill the hole Arcanine would have potentially covered.
All right. In the RU tier, your first Arumon was pretty much the same scenario, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I was able to, since I didn't get to pick in the first RU round due to a trade that me and Frank had last season where I was able to scoop up my low tick, I gave up my RU1 pick. So I got to see a lot of the RU mons I wanted to disappear, and one of them was Gastrodon. And it was really, really depressing because Gastrodon is an amazing wall, and I really wanted to use a water ground type effectively, and it didn't pan out that way. And I didn't see myself using Swampert, so I went with Seismitoad. Seismitoad fills basically the same role that Gastrodon does, except it can be a tad more offensive as well, which is kind of nice for
Yeah.
me because I do like to play a little offensively at times. So I think it'll work out overall.
All right. So I know it's not the Rotom everybody likes, like Rotom Heat and Rotom Wash, but I think you can still rely a lot on Pokemon like Rotom Frost as a new Pokemon.
Rotom Frost is a pick that I really wanted to scoop up because it has a very unique typing, being electric and ice. It's very, very interesting to use. The electric typing actually kind of helps a little bit against steel types because I can, take only neutral hits from them, which is really good. And I really, really like Rotom Frost. I don't know why. I used it a lot when I first got into competitive battling for no particular reason. I just thought it looked cooler over all the other ones, and I kind of like ice types. It's like my second favorite typing, so I had to go with Rotom Frost. I wanted to try and make it really work this season and make it shine in a way it didn't necessarily last season.
All right. So back in the OU tier, you picked Gardevoir.
Gardevoir is a very specific pick for one reason, is because I want to kind of bring Gardevoir back into the limelight where it belongs. Since Mega Gardevoir became a thing, Gardevoir has just kind of sat there in the OU tier, just because the Mega's there.
Yeah.
It just kind of sits there, and nobody really cares for it. Nobody really recognizes that it's still a thing because everyone just decides, oh, we're just going to slap a Megastone on it and just fire off Hyper Voices. Why not? But I figured I wanted to bring Gardevoir into the league this season and really show off all the different things that regular Gardevoir can do that maybe Mega Gardevoir can't,
Yeah. So, as your second UU pick is something that, speaking about hyper voices boosted by Pixelate, this Pokemon doesn't really like a Pixelate hyper voice since it's quite weak to it. So, I'm talking about Hydreigon.
Yeah, he's not taking a draining kiss either, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Hydreigon is an absolute monster in the UU tier.
You had to say it.
I had to say, it's so hard not to. It's such a good Pokemon. Pretty sure, isn't it like what, the Devastation Pokemon or something in the Pokedex? Like,
Yep.
it's literally, it's made to destroy things. And how can you not go for a three-headed dragon? I mean, it's too good, and its diversity and move pool allows it to be used in a lot of different ways to cover a lot of different issues my opponents could potentially bring. So I had to scoop it up. I knew it was too good to miss.
Alright, so another Pokemon that is pretty much made for destruction is Durant.
Durant is probably one of the most slept on mons in Pokemon history.
Dude,
the fact that it's an RU,
but it's
is-
so frail, especially on the special side.
it's frail on the special side, but you can work around that. I mean, that's what team building is for. But I mean, Durant itself is just absolutely insane. Well, if you can get a hone claws up on that thing, it's gonna sweep a team real quick, real quick. Its power is almost unmatched in the RU tier. Not many things can really stop it effectively. So yeah, I definitely had to scoop that up. Plus, I really like the bug steel typing. I mean, the quad weakness to fire is a bit of an issue, but I felt like I could build a good enough team around it to make it work.
Yeah, you have some. So you have Entei, you have Hydreigon, you have Omastar, you have stuff that can take that you can switch out and pretty much sponge the fire moves with them. So it's not a huge problem for you. So second Enumon was Dusknoir.
So I needed a ghost type, and this was another case of I was so good last season that it screwed me over this season as I watched every single ghost type that I wanted disappear before my eyes. Dusclops, there you go. Smagius, there you go. Everything just slowly floated away, and I pretty much came down to the point where it was either Eviolite, Mischievous, or Dusknoir.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Dusknoir because it's extremely bulky overall. It's got like base like 135 defenses, which is insane. Plus with a base 100 attack stat, it's gonna hit really hard and bulk all the hits at the same time. I think I got the better of the picks when it came to that in the long run.
Yeah, you can have a Life Orb or Expert Belt or a Choice Banded Shadow Sneak. So even if it's slow as hell, it still can have it has access to a stab priority, so it's not too bad. Third OU1, Tornadus T.
All right. Well, I needed a flying type. I wanted to have something that was really good with a flying stab. I also wanted something that could be kind of bulky and live for a while and have some diverse move pool. And I'm just kind of sitting there waiting through the last OU pick. I had the last pick overall in OU, and everything's just disappearing before my eyes, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't let anybody pick Tornadus T. And then Frank's turn came up. He made an invalid pick because he had been busy
What
and
did
didn't
I
see
pick
it.
again?
And I think you went for Kieran Black, but Casey already had it. And then you ended up. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, don't switch over to Tornadus T. Do not take Tornadus T. And then you scooped up Latios. I was like, immediately typing in the comments, I wanted Tornadus T. Immediately, I needed it. I was like, please give this to me.
Yeah,
it's an amazing mon with Regenerator.
I was at the hockey game, so I didn't see what was being drafted. So sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
It happens, but Tornadus T is an amazing mon with Regenerator. Its crazy move pool allows it to do a lot of different things, either fill utility roles or be more offensive. It can be bulky. It can be anything I really want it to be. It's really, really effective and really going to be a good member of the team.
Alright, so something that really doesn't like flying type is a grass type like Shaman.
Exactly, but Shaman also likes to be whatever I want it to be as well. It kind of fills almost the same role that Mew did last season, except not with the crazy move pool. But with base 100 stats across the board, Shaman can be used basically to fill whatever role I need it to that week. If I need an extra special wall, I can make it a calm nature and build it up with special defense, or I can throw an assault vest on it or something like that. If I need an extra physical wall, it can take that job if necessary. If I need another special attacker, Shaman's there. Shaman can be a physical attacker if you really wanted to be, and it doesn't have much.
You gotta work a lot. You gotta work to make that physical, though.
You gotta work to make it physical, but it can work if in the right situation. Yeah. And I feel like this is the kind of league where those crazy kind of things like a physical Shaman could potentially be useful.
We'll see. But something that's quite sure is that Omastar is going to be a very useful Pokemon for you.
Absolutely. Omastar was kind of a pick because it was what was left, to be honest. It was the best of what I saw was remaining when it came to RU. Again, I ended up with the last pick overall in RU, which kind of sucks, especially in a tier that's not very big like that. I mean, we only had like, what,
70
12
mons,
or 13?
70. There's like 70 or 75 Pokemons total. I don't even think there's 70 Pokemons in Argue. It's like maybe 65.
Yeah, I think we
and
had
we're
like
drafting
maybe like
48 out of them. So there wasn't
yeah, I think we
a
only
lot
had
left.
like 15 left over when it came down to me, so I kind of had to go with whatever was left over. And I needed a rock type. I wanted to have rock type stab. Rhyperior was already gone, so I was kind of SOL on that one. But I saw Omastar and I saw a lot of potential because it's very physically bulky, so it can eat hits if I need it to. And with access to set up like Shell Smash and Stealth Rocks as well, it has those two different spectrums that it can fit into, where it can either be utility or full-on sweeper, which I feel is going to definitely have to come at least one time this season.
Alright, so as your last mon, something you said was very representative of your draft is Garbodor.
It's not a lie. My draft, I personally am not a huge fan of my draft this season. It does have some potential, but at the same time, I'm not a huge fan. And Garbodor was, again, another example of, well, I need this typing. What's left? Shit. Alright, I guess I'm stuck with this. I'll work with it.
Yeah.
So I wanted Muck. I considered taking Weezing back and giving it a go this season because it actually would fit on the team.
But
That was gone. That was gone first NU pick of the entire draft, which is like, all right, great, fantastic for me. All right, well maybe Muck will last a little while. Nope, Muck was gone like first NU round to RNG, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, there goes my luck. Arbok, even for Christ's sake, Arbok of all Mons was scooped up.
Yeah, but
earlier
Arbok
in the
with
draft.
Intimidate, then Coil, then Sucker Punch, then I
It could be a
understand
physical wall
what
and a
Damien
killer.
wants. I understand what Damien wants, but I'm not too sure it's gonna work because, like, in this league, typing is a thing, but stats also are a thing, and I think
Yeah,
Arbok
but
with
Arbok,
that
if
400.
set up the right way, I think if Arbok if set up the right way, especially with Intimidate, it can come in easily with the right build against a physical Mon and easily just start to set up.
Yeah.
And then Sucker Punch away until everything dies,
Yeah.
essentially. Garbodor can't do that. Garbodor just kind of has to sit there and be like, well, I can eat some hits.
I can use
maybe
Gunk Shot.
I can throw trash at you. I throw myself at you with a gunk shot, but that's, I mean, at the end of the day, though, it does provide me more entry hazards. It provides me access to spikes and toxic spikes, which, who knows, that could potentially be a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if I have the very, very perfect situation, I could start setting up spikes and toxic spikes with it. It has access to Pain Split. It has access to Drain Punch, which allows for it to kind of have some form of ability to live a little longer, so it can be a little stally if I need it to be. Garbodor's just kind of there. If I need a poison type, I'll bring him. If I don't absolutely need a poison type, I'm not gonna bring him.
That's it.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
He's just there for
Because you needed one.
backup. Yeah, he's there for backup. He's there because I needed a poison type. That's
Alright.
basically it.
So I think you pretty much already talked about your draft deceptions, but what were your draft surprises?
The surprise for me was seeing some of the Mons that lasted till the third round. Like, looking through the last couple of rounds, seeing Mons like Kyurem Black, Hoopa Unbound,
Wow.
Togekiss, Manaphy, Raikou, Ferrothorn, all those Mons lasted until OU round 3. Nidoking and Mamoswine were in UU round 3.
Yeah.
RU round 3 had Sneasel, Magneton, Gallade, Bronzong, Hitmontop.
Yeah, but
like-
how about yourself? Like, I know what you mean, but like, what were you not expecting to get, but something that you were able to get in the end?
Honestly, I didn't expect Hydreigon to make it out of UU round 1 because
Yeah.
everybody knows how good of a mon it is.
Oh,
And the
tell
fact that it
ask Damien about it.
Damien's not a huge fan of Hydreigon, and he's not going to be this season either. I'm gonna make sure of that. But Hydreigon making it into UU round 2 was absolute miracle in my opinion. Tornadus T not getting scooped up didn't necessarily surprise me. I would say
Getting
a lot of
Megalopony, I think, also could be a surprise because it's one of the best physical sweepers in the game.
Oh, for sure. And Mega Lopunny making it to the very end of OU round 1. I mean, I see some of the other picks, and I understand a lot of them, and a lot of them are really good overall. But at the end of the day, some of them, like I think Gabriella going for Breloom round 1 wasn't the best decision, in my opinion. But, what can you do? Mega Lopunny's fine. I'm happy about it.
Alright. So, when I look at the divisions, I see that you're against Ray and Seattle, Corey and Johnson City, and you're against Andy and South City. So, I'd like to ask you, where do you position yourself against these 3 competitors in the same division, and what are your expectations for this season?
Division-wise, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say I'm definitely scared a lot of my division. All 3 teams are really, really good, really good. Andy, he's got a very well built team with a couple of really scary things like Smeargle that can be literally whatever he wants it to be.
I wanted it.
I kind of wanted Smeargle too, which is kind of depressing. He's got Mega Sceptile, which is very slept on, very, very slept on. And if he gets Mega Evolve early on in the game and then keep it in the back, that neutralizes my Rotom. I can't willingly fire off Volt Switches safely with that thing still alive, so that's a problem. He's got Bulk with Togekiss and Conkeldurr. That's scary. He's got sweepers like Crocodile that are also very, very frightening. Archeops is a huge threat with how good it is. His team scares me. Ray's team is beyond terrifying because it's literally bulk and wall breakers everywhere I look. Clefable, Vaporeon, Amoonguss, Steelix, Hitmontop, bulk out the ass. And he's got Swellow, Lucario, Mega Latios.
Oh, he traded Swellow. He traded Swellow for Stoutland.
Oh, he traded Swellow for Stoutland? That's even scarier. Stoutland's a monster. We've seen how Mega Mawile used that in the GBA. That's scary.
With Intimidate,
Stoutland's good. Oh my god.
Intimidate, it can also use Sand for Sand Rush. I tried to use Stoutland in doubles. With the Sand, it's pretty much impossible to outspeed, so...
That's absolutely insane.
It can be used.
And then I look at Corey's team, and like, Corey has the Arcanine that I wanted, which I already know how good it is, and he has the one of the few things that really shuts Mega Lopunny down, and that's Coffagrigus.
Like, totally.
The thing that makes Mega Lopunny good is its scrappy ability.
Then get the mummy.
Fire off a high jump kick. The ability to fire off a high jump kick and know for a fact anything that comes in is going to get hit by it is absolutely amazing to feel, because you know something's going to take some serious damage. But Coffagrigus comes in, you hit that thing, boom, you have Mummy. Scrappy's gone, you're basically almost useless. If they have a ghost type on their team, it's immediately 100% walls you, and you're done. So Coffagrigus itself scares me the most from his team. And on top of that, he's got Gliscor, Mega Slowbro, Crobat. Literally half of his team checks Mega Lopunny. Checks Mega Lopunny 100%.
And something that you really liked using, like Electros, he's got Meowstic for screens, he's got Spiritomb also, oh my god. You're gonna have a tough season.
I'm gonna have a tough season with these guys. Definitely, for sure. It's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Alright, so what are your personal objectives? There are 18 weeks in the season, I think. Yeah, 18. So I'd say, how many games would you like to win? Like 10 or 12 or something?
If I can break even when it comes to wins and losses, I'll be happy.
With this division, yeah.
Not only with just my division, but with this season in general, with this team that I have, if I can at least break even, I'll be happy with myself, because I'm not a huge fan of my draft. Like I said before, I also haven't used a lot of these mods before. I haven't really messed with Entei too much. I haven't messed with Seismitoad. I haven't really messed with Dust
Hmm.
Wire all that much. I
But
haven't
do you
messed
you
with
still
Omastar
think
at all.
do you think that you can still like get, let's say, 66%, like get 12 wins? I think that would be a respectable objective for you, who is the
I would say
defending
so.
champion.
I would say so. Maybe I can pull that off. I should be able to do at least that much. It's going to be tough to pull off. It's going to take a lot of extra work on my part on the preparation side and the overall prediction side when it comes to actual battles. It's going to take a lot of extra work, but I think 12 wins at least is what I'm going to shoot for. It's going to be tough, but oh, I just keep looking at all the other teams and I'm just so scared.
All right.
Oh, it's going to be a nasty season. Ooh.
Yeah, I think, like, compared to last season where two guys went clearly under the radar, like not even close.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, Alistair and Chase weren't even close to the others. I think this season is gonna be a battle, like until week 15 everybody's still gonna be in there. Like the last 3 weeks are gonna be extremely decisive compared to this season where it was only, like, let's say, last week and a half that
yeah.
decided for the standings. So I think
Yeah,
it's yeah.
it's definitely gonna be a tight race. A lot of the teams are built very nicely, and I'm looking at them before everyone's even finished their preseason, preseason roster swaps. And it's still pretty scary, and all the teams have are chances to improve, which is even scarier to think about.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really difficult season. We already have a couple scary cores coming my way. I already know my week 1 match is going to be a tough one.
Against who is it? It's against
Carlisle Gudras.
Carlisle Gudras, yeah. So that's it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. Also, you please go and visit our friends at Poketown at http://www.facebook.com/group/Poketown. So go check them out. They're a 20k member group, which is for Pokemon all around, I'd say. And the link to the Pokemon Fight Club will be in the description below. So as I said, thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.